Hey everyone, thanks for your interest in Sylang. So Sylang is an MBSE framework, or you can use it for any kind of web development, systems engineering, or anything. I mean, this is basically a documentation, a structured documentation for what you are going to develop. So it can be a software application, or it can be a safety critical application that can be used in automotive or aerospace, and so on and so forth. So you got a quick glimpse of what Sinang is. It's kind of a domain-specific language for systems engineering, and there are questions. Hey, how can I use it? How can I visualize what I'm developing? So for that, you need to download VS Code extension. So if you go here, you will see. The Sylang is also available as a VS Code extension in the Visual Studio Marketplace. But first of all, what you have to do is go and search for Microsoft Visual Studio Code, and you can download, for any operating system. So I have Linux, and I download Visual Studio Code for Linux. You can also use any kind of VS Code extension. So one another thing I like is cursor.com. If you are familiar with Cursor, Cursor is another AI-based AI-based Visual Studio fork, Visual Studio Code fork, and it uses AI natively here. So this is another great tool. I use Cursor a lot, but of course you can also use Visual Studio Code or any kind of Visual Studio based code editor. So once you have downloaded that, so once it downloaded, let me open that really quick. So once you have downloaded that, let me go with a new window. Okay, so completely new window here, not using anything already available. So here, once you have that, you can go ahead and download the electric parking brake, which is available as a public repository, and you can download a zip, or if you want to, if you have Git already, you can also clone the Git repo. But if you don't have Git, that's fine as well. You can just download zip and open it in the Visual Studio Code editor. So here, once I have the Visual Studio Code, just open the folder wherever you have documents and electric parking brake, and open it. Okay, so this is basically the project that is in the in the example. So how can you install Sylang here in the Visual Studio Code? Go here and search for Sylang, and you have Sylang and Sylang Sim. Sylang Sim is still in development; it's not available, but you can go ahead and install Sylang. So I have an update here, just update it. Or if you are going to install from the beginning, you can just so you will see like this, and you just install it here, and you have the 2.28.43 available for you. So this will enable the Visual Studio Code to become more useful for your Sylang developments, and also you can visualize things and so on. So let me show you how you can visualize things here. So for example, here it's a project management. So if you are doing project management for your systems engineering, you can define your agents. So whenever you click any file, it'll open in more in a document view. So you can also, of course, go in a code view. So if you click here, which is opening the source, you will see a code view. This is basically the code that you write for defining an agent and what this agent is going to do and so on. Yeah. So, but when you click any file, it will open as a document. So this looks more for a visualization in a visualization perspective rather than code. So sometimes code is a little bit intimidating. So that's why code is on the background. So if you want to see the code, you can go here, you can edit it and do whatever you want. So for example, if I say safety manager here, so if I want to edit something, I can go here and say safety manager new. Just an example, and then I save that one and come and refresh it, and then you have the identifier safety manager new. Of course, the name is not changed, so if you want to change the name of it, safety manager new, and you're good to go. So come and click the refresh, and you'll find the safety manager new. So whatever you are updating on the code, that will show up in this agent documentation. And also you can define sprints. So sprints are basically like, any kind of Jira kind of software where you define epics, stories, and tasks and so on. So here you can see how, your sprint planning is done, different tasks and so on. I will show you in the next one how to see the sprint view. But overall, let's go into the next one. So the high level always starts with the product line engineering. Product line engineering. This is one example that opens like a code. Of course, it can also open in a document view. I'm still working on it, but yeah. So this is basically looks like a code. It's a very readable, human readable format. No, not like a software code or something. It's just providing a declaration of whatever you are trying to define, and then you have the properties. So all the properties are very simple. There are only three different ways of doing it. So for example, if I go here to show an example, so you have the import. So whatever you want to import, you'll have to import that so that you can use it in this block. So for example, if you want to use a interface, then you have to, for this block, this needs an interface. Of course, the block can contain interface, but for a separation of concern, you can also you define the interfaces separately as an interface set, and then you can use it. Sorry, you can reference it here or use it here. So the first part is importing what you need. The second part is defining the header, so what this what this block or what this file is about, and then what you need in this. So for example, these are relationship. Any relationship keyword is based on the ref. So if it's a ref, means it is a relationship keyword, so which means the definitions of these ones are somewhere. So if you want to know where this is defined, you just right click, you just hover on it, then what these features, what this identifier is basically, and then you right click and you can go to the definition. So this is the definition of a feature model. So you can see the APB features and so on and so forth. So basically you can go to anywhere in this project without having to open any new database and so on and so forth. It's all in a single database. So here, it also needs, provides, and so on and so forth. So it has its interfaces and so on. So, and also this block is decomposes into several other blocks. So in this case, one of the questions came up, okay, how do I visualize these things? Of course, you see from a document view, this is the visualization of a document. But okay, I want to see it as a diagram. You don't have to draw the diagram. You just click here. This is the diagram view, and the diagrams are automatically created. So this is the diagram that is automatically created from what you have already defined. Of course, you can move and however you would like to see it in this way. So this is in development, so this is not perfect in terms of what interfaces and so on. That's why there is no connection yet. So once there is connections, so you don't have to define, okay, it has to be connected to here, but once you define provide once you define an interface for this block, and if this block needs it, the system automatically knows that those needs to be connected. Yeah, so that's basically the intelligence already built into this diagrammatic system. So it knows the whole project, and it understands, and how it knows how to connect this blocks and so on. So this is, for example, a block or internal block diagram, if you say so, for from a SysML point of view. Then you have IFC. So the general way of looking at it is going with the product line engineering, and then once you define the top level product line engineering, you go and define your feature set. So this is the feature set. So you have features. The feature can have a parent feature, a child feature, and so on. So this also visualized in a way that how a tree view is. So basically these two are the child of the vehicle load estimation, and this is this motor control strategy and the vehicle load estimation are or siblings in this case. So you want to see it, oh, I want to see it more like a code view. You click this one and you get a code view, and here you'll see how the data is defined here. But if you want to see a diagrammatic view, just click this one and you will have a diagrammatic view. So it opens in a complete diagram. So whatever you have defined as a code there, it's opens as a diagram. So you'll see which is a mandatory one, which is optional one, which is an R feature, alternate feature, and so on and so forth. And then once you define a feature model, then you define a variant model. So variant model is basically whether this feature is selected or not. Yeah, so some features may not be selected. So for example, this feature is not selected. So in this case, it grayed out, and you will also see it in the code that certain features are not selected. So this is the code, and if you want to select this feature, you select it or unselect it. Yeah, so sorry, default it's unselected, and if you want to select it, then you say selected. And once you selected it, then it's part of your project. And to see it in a diagrammatic view, you can just click that diagram, and then you can see that this is not a selected one. Yeah, so that kind of grays out. So for example, these are not selected. Only this one is selected because it's one or more feature can be selected in this case, and this is the only one selected here. So likewise, based on your code, the diagrams are automatically generated. So none of these diagrams were created before or not. It just created in real time. So you can, for example, you can close this and where's the VML? So you go here. This is a complete different VML because you can have as many as variant model you can have in your project. So if you see, this is a complete different one. You can see a lot of things were not selected because this VML is still incomplete. That's why you see also red here. So once once, for example, if you go here, open with the text editor, and then you say selected. So now you selected the brake engagement. You come back. You can see that this is selected now. You can see that it's enabled. If you if you remove that and go back and see, it's not selected. Yeah, so it's in real time. It applies what you are manipulating in the code as well. Yeah. So and then you have the VCF. VCF is the configuration that you can use this configuration inside your entire system definition. So for example, a C brake engagement is enabled because this feature is enabled. So you can use those features or you can use those configuration in the requirements, for example. So for example, you see here, this is the requirement document. You can regularly visualize like any other tool. If you want to go to the data, you just click here and you can see data here. So you can use, for example, I'm going to use a vendraft. So for example, vendraft config basic features, quick response. Oh no, it's not available. So let me check what is available. So these are, I have to fix that one. So for example, let's say this is 0. Yeah. So I'm taking some crude example here. So this is 0. Oops, I open with the text editor, and then I say, because this feature is not selected, you will automatically see that um, yeah, it's a bit strange here why it is performing like that. Let me close this, close this. Okay, I have some issues uh, um, with the decoration provider, because the decoration, this has to be grayed out here. But hopefully you understand the concept here, and this bug will be fixed. Okay, so that's basically the requirements. This is function, so you can see visualization for the functions and so on, and interfaces. So everything is more. You can see it as a regular document view. And if you'd like to see a specification view, so what is a specification view? So in the specification, it's not only just one requirement document or one interface document. It can be a combination of few things. So for example, here I'm creating a specification, and the specification, you can see that the specification has an introduction section, a requirement section, where the status is, certain status, and you have a table, you have diagrams, and so on. So a specification contains more than just simple specification. So you can define this again in the Sylang language, and you click this spec file here. It it is going to check every requirement in this specification. Like it will look for, okay, you ask for this use case diagram, you ask for this sequence diagram, and so on. So for example, in this one we said, okay, I want to see the requirements which are approved, so we document that, and then we asked a table to be provided. So we have a table here where we have all the approved requirements are listed, and we said, okay, show me the feature model diagram here, show me the sequence diagram here, and so on. So this is basically, you have everything available here. I mean, whatever is available as separate files in a specification, you can bring everything just with a simple code. So for example, once again, I'm going to show that code. So you have this, different diagrams. So, for example, okay, this is a sequence diagram. You can provide any kind of names, but it just have to be unique name. That's all. So if you want to also do a, okay, this is a section of sequence diagram. If you want to have another section which talks about oops, use case diagram, if you are going to add a use case diagram, you can just add use diagram, use C diagram. I'm just changing only the name of it. I'm not changing the description just for this demo. If you go back and wait for it, because it is just processing all the diagrams, now it's taking use case in all of those diagrams, and then it just pops up um, with your specification. So now requirements table, you have feature model, you have sequence, you have use case. I'm sorry, we didn't change the name of the description and so on, but you already got the use case diagram. It's as simple as that. You define only once the use cases, and automatically you can create diagrams and bring it to a specification and so on and so forth. And also there is a dashboard. So if you would like to see, okay, what is going on in my project, you can also define a dashboard with metrics, with charts and stuff like that. So again, it's a little bit similar language, and you just click that, and automatically you get um, you get a dashboard view. Yeah, so how many how many requirements are in the draft status, how many requirements are in the approved status, and so on. You can filter anything. You can have different different requirements. On there are a couple of bugs here, so I'll be fixing it. But overall, you get the idea that Dash is where you can um, customize your dashboard however you want. It's very simple to do, and you can simply use it. If you want to use AI for your for your assistance, you can also Gemini Code Assist is it's already available. So let me do this. So I'm just installing Gemini Code Assist. So you can use Gemini Code Assist as well. I think this is a free version. So in this case, it's not like GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot is you have to pay for it, but Gemini Code Assist is already available. Just seeing where it is available. So probably this one. Yeah. So if you see here, Gemini Code Assist is here. So you can use this. I'm new to Gemini Code Assist in Visual Studio environment. Okay, so it's not opening as a window. Usually Gemini Code Assist has a window. So let me check whether there is a different Gemini chat. Okay, it's not here. But you can use GitHub Copilot. So, for example, this is GitHub Copilot that I have developed here, or I have integrated here. So you can use any kind of any kind of um, a model here. So maybe we can use, for example, GPT-5 Mini, and I say, hey, can you add an additional interface to this vehicle network document? Again, I'm just asking. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. You cannot just say, add additional interface, but I'm just demonstrating that, the okay, so here is the Gemini Code Assist. I'm sorry. So you can use Gemini Code Assist here. So let me go back once again to GitHub Copilot. So I'm asking the additional interface doesn't make any sense because you're not giving any context. You're not giving, what the system and so on and so forth. But this at least understands what this system is, what document it is and what project it is. So it will be able to provide you somewhat of relevant interface for this one. So let's see what it is going to create for us. Yeah, again, once again, it doesn't make any sense. For this prompt, you have to give a little bit more context. You have to give more, relevant information so that it can create, a better. Oh, it's in the. Okay, I'll stop here. I'm going to use the agent mode. So agent mode is much better in this case. And then I'm going to add a context, the vehicle network. So I added a context of this interface document, and then I also selected agent. So why I selected agent was I don't have to copy and paste it there. The agent will automatically update this interface document. As you see here, currently it has 7 items. So basically 6 items and the header. So now it is going to create additional interfaces for this Okay, so it added 36 line items. So let's see what did it actually create. So you want to see before you accept it, you just click the code mode, and then if you go here, it has had a couple of interesting um, interesting interfaces. A vehicle time sync, yeah. I mean, it makes sense if there is a vehicle network, and if you would like to have the time between your controller and the network controller has to be the same, then you go with the vehicle time sync, and then from our update request, remote service mode. So these are somewhat relevant interfaces. So it's not entirely the AI is not entirely stupid here. It knows exactly what it's creating. So if you don't like it, you can reject it, of course. And if you like it, you just keep it. And once you have that, you have 7 items here. You just refresh it or open it again. Like you go here and open it again. Now you have 12 items. So it added, oh, there's some more that we missed probably. So here you already have this vehicle time sync, firmware update request, remote service mode, for example. So those are some of the signals that's added. Oh, sorry, those are the operations. Those were added, and those were the signals. Those were added. We didn't review it before accepting. Yeah, but at the same time, of course, you know the differences because it uses just text. You can always compare it and see, what is going on. So this is a very simple, explanation of what is capable of. So you have seen the use case diagrams, sequence diagrams, and all of those things. So again, use case diagrams and a document, and then you have the diagram itself as well. Again, I haven't checked each and every part of this. This is only given for some assistance in terms of how to use the system. And if you would like to see what is going on, you can see that there are several clear filters. So there are several failures, several errors here. You can see a lot of error in this one. So for example, if I go here, um, scan, this one, import this not found check symbol and ensure. So this interface is not available. So those are some of these errors. I mean, we add these interfaces in a sense that you will create this in the future. Of course, you make sure that you create it. When you create these ones and add it, then these errors will go away. So this project is provided to give an overview how to use this system. And of course, there are so many errors that should be fixed to make sure that everything works properly. Okay, so that's a quick introduction of how to use Sylang and how can you visualize things. So if you have any questions or if you have any questions or anything else, yeah, just please post it there under this video or in Reddit. I'll follow up and give you some more information. Thank you.